Hey guys, Mecha-san here, once again breaking my rule about reacting to gameplay trailers. But I kind of want to use it as well to, talk about the controversy this is having with, I mean, for some, like Japan and everything like that, like the whole canceling of one of these games, stuff like that. Some of the complaints I understand here, like and some of the artwork and stuff like that. The banner once it actually used from an actual play, currently still going in Japan. It's like, how the hell did some? Yeah, wow. We always. I mean, we've known quality control has really declined in Ubisoft for years now, but damn. But there's also some other people complaining about the how they don't see things being historically accurate, stuff like that here. And for that, it's like, do you not play Assassin's Creed? I mean, it's historical fiction. It plays with the idea that the history books not trustworthy. It's something that they've said since the very first game. It's like, yeah, so so they're gonna play around here. The whole premise is with the animus, you see history literally unfold through the eyes of someone who's actually in the time period here, or whatever. And so yeah, it's not gonna be like at the history books. History books, I'm gonna say that's the whole premise of the history books. Yeah, but then of course the whole thing with Yasuke and such. That one I don't know. That one, yeah. What are the actual Japanese historians, the experts of that time period, the ones who it's their job to go through all the records and such, say? What do they say? I'll believe their words over some Twitter user, which I don't even know the face, or his credentials or any of that. It's like, do I believe just a guy on Twitter X or whatever, or do I believe the guy who's working at probably Tokyo University history department and who knows this stuff? Yeah. So we can see the two play styles here. That's what it is a gameplay. We already saw a bit here. They even dropped a small video on X. I'm gonna call it. You know what? I'm gonna call it Twitter, people. I'm gonna be calling it Twitter because I don't know, X, like extreme. That's what I hear. And that was good. That was okay in the '90s and during the whole, and for skaters to say, but so yeah, on Twitter here they showed some of Naomi's parkour styles. It almost feels like they're trying to be with Unity, but much more acrobatic. And I'm okay with that. Peggy 18. Okay, so this is Europe.
What we wanted to do at the start is deliver on great player fantasy. And as we started diving, we had two emerging player fantasies that were awesome. The Shinra and the Samurai. What we
and
didn't want is try to dilute them into one fantasy. We really wanted to explore both sides. So that's something where we said, well, we need two characters.
Okay. Already, just from what I've seen, they seem to be doing a lot better job than they did with the original attempt with, the Fry twins. I'll have to see just how it is, because one of the problems I had with Syndicate and the Fry is how Evie had to pretty much clean up a lot of her brother's mess, and it feels like Jaga got more attention.
The setting that we had, the Azuchi Momoyama period in feudal Japan, was in such a nuanced time. So it was really interesting to be able to work with dual protagonists and develop these two characters as individuals, because we really had the opportunity to explore this era by playing off these two different perspectives.
as we worked our way through it and came up with a dual protagonist.
Okay, I'm seeing a lot of...
That Naue is the stealth character, and
yeah,
Yasuke is the fight character. Speed and agility on one side, and brawn and strength on the other. They differ in every possible way we could make them differ.
Yeah, that's okay. If there's an option to let the animus decide who I should play as for a scene, I'm gonna let the animus decide that. That's because I like lore, like the stick canon, stuff like that. I'm not big on player choice. And I'm also still wondering, how are you getting two different DNAs? A blade in the shadows. I do like what they mentioned with the weather mechanics here. Like, yeah, this weather here, like that alone.
Our shinobi, Naue, is the imagined daughter of a legendary Egan shinobi, Fujibayashi Nagato. And up until this point, she's actually been quite protected from a lot of the horrors of war that have been going on in other parts of Japan. So this is going to be her first real taste of what lies beyond.
Okay.
It has a profound impact on her.
I wanted.
So basically, Naomi grew up in her little village. That stands to reason here. This was a time period where they lived and they died a full life without ever leaving their town, city, village of origin. Travel wasn't that common. Not as common as it is today.
To have the stealth as a core pillar in Assassin's Creed Shadows, player will recognize the classic Assassin's Creed experience in Naue, but we...
Yes, and the pivot blade from Assassin's Creed 3. Huh. Sean mentioned how that was an interesting design, and it wasn't really wasn't adopted, it wasn't commonly used. Didn't say it was original, entirely original, only him, but I'll be curious as well. And again, this whole playing where it's a made-up character like this, like her father is an actual historical, but this daughter's made up. Nothing new in Assassin's Creed here. Like, I have read one of the books here where it established, where we learned that apparently, in the first story goes, this kid was a descendant of some sort of famous opera singer during the Civil War. That's during the Civil War, traveling a lot, even though historical records indicate she never had any children. Again,
we're adding a lot of things that make her
nice.
Unique, so she's the best assassin ever. We want
careful with that. Careful. That's dumb. That was dumb to say here, because as many people's mind is, the best assassin is freaking Ezio. That's a tall bar.
Now way to be extremely fast.
But yes, here we go. Nice.
We've worked a lot to make sure that she has the coolest, most spectacular parkour we could give her.
I know they also mentioned, like, this is something you mentioned as well. Like, if it's during the snow here, there's a track as well. There's also the fact that, like, icicles will accumulate on the edges right on this. Yeah, you can see on the edges right here. So if you're not careful, they could get knocked down and cause noise and attract attention. So, environmental detectors.
She can go prone, meaning that the character can
nice.
go underbelly and just crawl around in the dirt and disappear from view.
I also heard that you can also, depending on the time period, you can also change outfits here, like if you're in the snow. So a more whiter outfit here, which
really
cool.
To leverage all the light elements that come with our new tech and use it in a core
way rain.
Shinobi fantasy specifically. So what that means, at night, you have to read the environment and hide in the pockets of shadows that are cast naturally in the world. And that affects how NPCs can see you and if they can sense you at all.
Okay. How's Eagle Vision here? Can we use that to protract their path, stuff like that? Because that was an ability that Edward Kenway could have.
What we want the player to experience is the feeling of being the predator. So you feel like a ninja, you can break light, you can vanish in the shadows, and you're flipping on roof with the physics-based grappling hook, so the stealth is more rich than ever, and you really feel that she's like a blade in the shadows.
Okay, I like that. I'm a little concerned how, I don't know, maybe it's a little pet peeve here, but all the people in Ubisoft got people here. It's like, I kind would believe it more if you had an actual, at least Asian, Japanese presenter or something like that. I don't know.
Yasuke is our first historical protagonist in Assassin's Creed. What we know about Yasuke historically is just a bit, but it was enough to get the team really excited about the opportunity to work with him.
Just a bit, huh? How much is just a bit compared to some of the other ones? Some of the other, like, historical figures they've had in Assassin's Creed here. I can imagine there's only just a bit of information on Yasuke because, well, he's a foreigner. He's a big-time foreigner. I mean, he was coming as what, like a slave or something like that? A black, stuff like black. He's black. He's a black man, cool. That makes him uber foreign to the Japanese. And this was a time period where Japan was extremely, like, isolated here. They did not like foreigners, barbarians, savages. They were simply because they weren't Japanese.
As a character, he can fight his way out of anything.
So the fact that there's so little information,
his way through things equally.
It ain't hard to. It ain't.
Is going to be somebody who always has.
It's not hard to imagine.
So especially in combat,
because when writing history, there's gonna be some bias.
when we think about Yasuke, it's really about dictating how the fight will go. And to do so, we created a mechanic called the posture attack. So you can chamber an attack, and then you can launch that attack to do massive amount of damage and take out anyone.
Yasuke is very, very strong. He can barge through reinforced doors. He can lift heavy objects that Naue can't. But that means that he's somewhat slowed down compared to Naue.
Oh, ow. Yeah, and he does not know how to do the leap of faith. That reminded me of Eivor. The first time I had her do the jump down or jump to water, stuff like that. It was, but worse. Oh, like that. How's your back, man? Yeah. Oh, yeah.
On the ground.
Yeah, that hurt. Okay, I don't think you should be doing anything like that.
That's where he shines.
Yeah.
We have two characters who have such different gameplay styles. So for every situation,
he's smiling a bit.
Moment you're going to encounter, you really need to think through everything from these two perspectives.
Blood must be paid in blood, Yasuke.
We always want to respect player choice, so you can do quests with any character. So if you are Yasuke, you play with his strength, but also with his weakness. Same for Naue. Each character has their own skill trees, but also they can master the different weapons. So it's not just about stats, it's about
Kurogama chain
to really understand how the different mechanic works.
They have different speeds, they have different HP, they have different gear sets. So
okay, yeah.
And they're a great balance of two player fantasies.
The most exciting part of having our dual protagonists is the distinction and the fact that they don't really overlap. Narratively, they have common goals and they are aligned on what they want to do, but the way they go about it is drastically different.
Gotta admit, I like the effects of of her robes getting all damp and wet in the rain.
Sometimes playing Naue, even if you're very good, you'll hit a wall and some enemy is gonna kick your ass.
Yeah.
And you go, you know what? Let me switch. And the same is true for Yasuke. Sometimes you'll get a setup, a couple enemies are high on rooftop that you cannot quite reach, and having to go, you know what? Let me switch back to Naue. And having this push-pull that players get to experience.
Again, I feel there better be an option.
What situation it gives.
All right, okay. I'm still hoping there's gonna be a choice of the Animus decides for me.
Lots of levers to play with and try to break the mold, I think, is the most fantastic thing we've achieved with our dual protagonist from a gameplay perspective.
I saw a little deer. Hope we could pet those. Give it something to feed. So yeah, it looks nice. I have to play it. I have to play it for myself, see what it's like. I'm disappointed though, because I can already tell that we're not, like, much like the Fry Twins, we're not gonna get an answer as to how we're playing two people in one simulation, aren't we? Are we? I mean, I don't think they mentioned the modern day. Is it gonna be anything here? I hate that. Give us the modern day. We'll see. I mean, right now, Ubisoft, could it recover some of its reputation with Star Wars Outlaws? I don't know. But I have seen people show the ship here, like in the whole little trial they gave here, like the first, like an hour or two of game, and we saw the interior of the ship, the Trailblazer for that game, and okay, I won't say anything, but clearly in that ship they took a page from Assassin's Creed Syndicate, because that ship is basically the train from Syndicate here. Even that room where they look like the bedroom and everything like that, there's nothing there. Clearly, it's gonna get filled up with stuff, with trinkets and other trophies from missions and such, so you can obviously decorate it. And I'm hoping, I think they mentioned it's gonna be like your little Montergione or your homestead, your, like, a place where you can decorate. Hopefully it's not at all like Ravensthorpe, because nah. Look, go back to the model you had for Assassin's Creed 2 and up to Syndicate. That's my advice. Sorry. But yeah, okay. I like what I'm seeing so far. They showed mostly these guys here. Like, yeah, like her movement is like, okay, cool. It actually reminds me. It's like if Arno was more acrobatic. And I don't like it. And I like what I see here. And I love that moment where Yasuke dived into the hay. Like, ow! It looked like it hurt, and it did hurt. He is not going to be able to do a leap of faith not with that armor on. So it's going to be fun. So it looked fun here. Again, if Outlaw does well, and if this does well, then good job, Ubisoft. You're recovering your reputation. Keep it going. Because it can't just be two good games. You got to keep being good. Good, great stuff. Worth the price. You already got a lot of fire under your tush, as it is. So thank you for watching, everyone. As always, comment down below what you all thought. Like and subscribe for more videos. Till next one, this is Mecha-san, logging out.